Welcome into another episode of Down South Ball Talk, hosted by LT. I am your host, LT. Today we have another dope episode. Actually, this is the third episode of Down South Ball Talk. We are going to keep thriving. We are going to keep going. So again, yes, welcome in. If you've liked, comment, or subscribed on the other videos, thank you. So please do the same on this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video and help us grow. And also, you see down here, all these down here, you see them. Those are all my socials. They all are at Down South Ball Talk, except for on X, it is Down South BT. Let's get into it today. The NFL draft concluded today. Well, the 2026 NFL draft concluded today. All of the AFC South teams picked in the later rounds. We're going to go over some of that. Also, we're going to talk a little bit NBA. What happened to the Rockets last night? I don't know. We're going to talk some Spurs as well. Those are the only two Southwest Division teams in the NBA playoffs. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And maybe at the end, a little bit of wrestling. Who knows? We'll see. But yes, let's start it off with the NFL draft. Now, instead of the Titans, let's kick it off with the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know why I want to kick it off with the Jacksonville Jaguars? Because to me, out of all NFL teams, they probably had the worst draft. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry. They probably had the worst draft. No shade to the players. This has nothing to do with the players. But I just don't get the picks. I mean, they went second round. Their first pick was in the second round, which was 56. We know this if you've been watching the show. They went tight end, which, okay, I get it. It was a need. It was a need. I get it. I understand it. But also, there was more people on the board that you could have went with that I thought that they were going to go with, and position of need, especially at, edge, D tackle. I thought they would, shore that up, maybe even go on the offensive line. But I understand it at tight end. That it was a decent need right there. I understand it. Also, let's see who else did they pick up. They picked up Regis, which is a D tackle from Texas A&M. Both their first two picks were from Texas A&M. They picked up Emmanuel Pergion. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, from Oregon, a guard, which I thought they would go offensive lineman and or they would go edge at the second round pick that they had, but they did not. Also, they went Wesley Williams at D end from Duke. They went Jalen Husky, safety out of Maryland. In the fifth round, they went Tanner Causel, tight end from Houston. In the sixth round, they went Josh Cameron, wide receiver out of Baylor. Let's see who else. Yes, C.J. Williams. I won't name them off. We'll be here forever naming off the picks. So they had a whole bunch of picks. But to me, they had not just the worst draft of the AFC South, but one of possibly the worst drafts in the league. So again, Liam Cohen, I don't know where we're going here with this. You needed a lot, and I don't know if you shored up some of the things that you needed. However, I know you don't need a corner because, again, Travis will handle that. I really believe that. But also, I believe that they should have went defensive line or offensive line with their first pick. But hey, I'm just a fan, just giving you guys my perspective on things. So let's move along. Let's talk about. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. Let's go Tennessee Titans. Their draft to me was pretty good. I like it, even though I am a Titans fan. You all know this. I am a Titans fan, but however, I think they had a good draft. First pick was Cardinal Tate. We know this from last episode. Second pick was Keldrick Folk because they moved back up in the first round to take him. Now, second round, they went Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas, with the 60th pick. I like it. I believe he will be a green dot guy for Saleh. I believe you line him up with Barton, you line him up with Gray, you got a three-headed monster back there. Now, I believe Will Barton will continue to be the green dot guy right now, However, when that time comes, I believe Anthony Hill can step up and be a green dot guy for the Tennessee Titans and Robert Saleh. So I love that pick for Robert Saleh's defense for sure. Then you got Fernando Carmona, offensive guard from Arkansas. They picked him in the fifth round. Next fifth round pick, they went Nick Singleton from Penn State, running back. They went also sixth round. They had two sixth-round picks and a seventh-round pick. Also, they picked up their center in the sixth round, Pat Coogan from Indiana. Do I think he has a chance to make this team? Yes. Do I think he can be a center for the future? I don't know. But I do know they need a center. I do know that. And Carmona, I don't know if he makes the right guard because this is just me personally. I think they need to bring back Zeitler for one more year. If he wants to come back, cool. I would definitely sign him to a veteran minimum, get him in here to mentor a little bit more, learn from Zeitler, and bring him back. I mean, he was decent last year for the right guard position. He wasn't the best. I agree. Wasn't the best. But I think he was a decent right guard for what you're trying to do and some continuity of that line and to help Cam Ward and Tony Pollard run through there. And Tajay, of course. So, yes, I do think that they can see what they have in Coogan as a center and then go from there for sure. But I do like the draft, and I will give them, as I even said it yesterday, I'll even go B-. I did go B, but I'll go B- just because I thought that they would pick up the center in maybe the 5th round instead of the 6th. That's the only thing I didn't like. But I understand you go up the guard, you stir up that right guard because you do have a center already, a veteran center at that. So I understand the picks. I understand them. So let's move along. Who do we want to talk about, the Colts or the Texans first? We'll save the Texans for last. We'll go Colts. The Colts, they picked their first pick in the the second round. Let me slow down. With the 53rd pick, they picked C.J. Allen, linebacker out of Georgia. I like it. I won't lie. I really like that pick. They bolster up their linebacker unit, their room. He is a dog. If you watch any Georgia tape or any Georgia games, he is the real deal. So I like C.J. Allen right there at 53. I personally thought that they would go defense. So that was a good pick to me. Round 3, they went A.J. Hosey, safety, LSU. So what's it telling you in the 2nd and 3rd rounds that they really valued, they needed some defense. And I agree with that. I do agree with that because, again, they have a pretty decent line. They have that going on. Obviously, the running back is there. The wide receivers, I don't know, but we'll see with that. So round 4, they had 2 picks. They picked Jalen Farmer, guard out of Kentucky. Then they also picked Bryce, Boshier? I'm sorry if I botched that. I'm so sorry. Linebacker, Oregon. So they went defense heavy the first few rounds and also through the whole draft. I mean, the next couple of picks they have, they were edges. They did take a wide receiver with their last pick in the 7th round with Deion Burks out of Oklahoma. So overall, after seeing C.J. Allen, A.J., and the way they went defense, and I thought that they need to go defense. I mean, even here in my notes, who did I have them going with their first pick? Oh, gosh. Who did I have here? I had them going edge. So they did go defense, and I really do think, like I have here, edge and linebacker and D-tackle were top 3 things that they need, or the position needs that they needed. So I really thought that they did a pretty good, decent draft. I will give it I'll go a solid for the defense, and one of the edges will probably pan out, hopefully, and give you some good production. I'll go C plus. I'll give it a C plus. I would definitely give it a C plus. I mean, they bolstered up their defense, and again, I like C.J. Allen. I do like C.J. Allen. I didn't specifically watch him, but I watched Georgia games, and he was nice. So, boom, I like that. I like that a lot. So, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving with the last AFC South team, which is the Houston Texans. Now, woo! I will say this. Even as a Titans fan, that defense got better. Is that possible? Is that possible? Is that possible? Yes, it is. D'Amico, you did your thing. Matt Burke, I see you. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Who's their GM? Their GM is Nick Caserio. Come on now. Come on, Caserio. Come on. I see you. They had one of the best drafts to me in the NFL. And you're asking, well, if you thought that about the Titans, well, you'll get my grade in a second. Let's talk about who they got. First round, they pick up Keelan Rutledge, which is the guard, which I think he'll go to center. I don't think that he'll go right guard or left because they just signed a free agent to play right guard. So I think he'll actually be their starting center, and he's nasty. Okay, so round 2. It's just an embarrassment of riches. They got spoiled again. Caden McDonald, defensive lineman out of Ohio State. Now, I got put on to him by watching Nightcap. Shout out Shay Shay, shout out Ocho Cinco, shout out ISO Joe, man. You know the vibes. So I got on put on him with watching a interview with him on there. So I watched his tape and also shout out Thinking Football. I believe they did something on him as well. I could be wrong if that isn't the channel that I've seen his tape on, but shout out Thinking Football as well. One of my favorite YouTube channels to watch film on for sure. But here, needless to say, Kaden McDonald, beast. Honestly, he should have been a first rounder. Everybody's saying, if you look online, if you look at all these different predictions, he was a first round grade for a lot of people. So getting him in the second round at 36, steal. I'm sorry, I think it's a steal for them. And then also, second round pick, number 59 that they had, Marlon Klein, tight end out of Michigan. Now, he's a little raw, but if you saw him play Michigan, because I did see a couple Michigan games, my homie is a Michigan fan, so I tried to watch a little bit with him. So with that being said, I've seen this guy play. Nice. He is nice. Now, he hasn't won a lot, but he has some stuff to work on, but I think he can be a really good, solid tight end, learning from Dalton Schultz down there and, seeing how a veteran moves and how a veteran does his things. I think it is a really good pick for the Texans. Now, they didn't have a third-round pick. They had 2 picks in the 4th. They went inside linebacker, or not linebacker, I'm sorry, offensive lineman. I believe, what is it? I don't want to butcher his name, from Oklahoma, Fepshi. I'll say his first name, Fepshi, for sure. Then they also went, what is this? Wade Woodsas, linebacker from Clemson. Okay, and then Kamari Ramson, which is a safety out of USC. And then they had 2 more picks of round 6 and round 7. They did pick a receiver in round 6, Lewis Bond, out of Boston College, like Boston, Boston College. So I love their draft. The later picks, okay. The top picks, they hit it out the park. I cannot say anything else. Even though I'm a Titans fan, I must be real and I must tell the truth and how I feel. And they hit it out the park. So what is the grade that I would give the Texans on their draft? I would definitely give them a B+. Headed towards the A-, but I can't go that far. I will definitely go B+ on it because I really do think Kaden McDonald on that line with Hunter, with Will Anderson, and you're giving off pressure from them because you have to pay attention to Kaden. He will be a problem in that middle. So, Lord Jesus, they have the defense. I don't even know where the hole is on their defense. Where's the hole? I will be honest. I mean, they have a shutdown corner in Sting. It's just, yeah, it's a whole thing over there. So shout out to the Houston Texans, man. All the Texans fans, y'all should have another good year. You just got to get that quarterback playing right, man. Shout out C.J. Stroud, and I think he can do it. I believe in you, C.J. I think you can do it, brother, man. I see the talent. I see it, brother, man. So keep doing your thing and work, man. Work, bro. So, yes, that will conclude my AFC South draft notes here and everything about the AFC South in the draft. Next time we talk about the AFC South, we will probably talk about let's talk about each team's best draftee to other people, which in the national media and such, and then we'll see what we think, because some of these, like give an example, the Rutledge pick, I love it, don't get it twisted, round 1, 26, I love it, but I love the Kaden McDonald pick even more. You see what I'm saying? And he was round 2. So we'll discuss a little bit more about the AFC South teams and go over that a little bit more. Right now, I want to transition to some basketball Southwest Division teams. Yes. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The Houston Rockets, Lord Jesus. They fell to the Lakers last night, 112 to 108 in overtime. Now, if you watch this game, you know that the Rockets were up 6 points with 30 seconds to go. Now, and you're asked, so what happened here? And I'll say this, they did not have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant set out again for the second game this series. He did not play game 1. He played game 2, and they lost as well. Then he set out game 3. So, with that being said, let's continue. Yes, they should have won this game, up 6 points with 30 seconds to go. And I don't know what Tate was thinking about. He fouled Marcus Smart at the three-point line, gave it up after that. LeBron comes down, hits it. It's a whole thing here. It's a whole thing here. So I don't know. And I'm like Ime Udoka. I don't know if it's because they're young and they don't know what's, the actually magnitude of what's going on, and they just need to go through the bumps and bruises like a lot of young players do in a lot of sports, or they just did not care or something, because he even said it in the press conference. They did not run the play that we set up for them. So I don't know, man. That was a debacle. I'm sorry, that was a debacle. Shout out to Lakers, because I mean, you go into overtime with that team. I know LeBron and them, they got to be in the huddle saying, we are not losing this. Hey, we got to overtime. We were supposed to lose this. Down 6 with 30 seconds to go. We were supposed to lose this. So we got to take it. We got to take it. And that's exactly what they did. 112-108, 3-0 in the series. Now, I think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep, because if KD plays next game, I think they will win in Houston, which I thought they were going to win last night in Houston. But KD was a game-time decision, and he did not play. I thought he was going to play because he was not on the injury report at all. He was game-time decision for sure. That was crazy. So with that being said, I think if KD plays, they will win in Houston for sure. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe he don't play. Maybe they dial it in and they get swept and they just, 1, 2, 3 Cancun. I'm ready to go on vacation. You know what I mean? So who knows? We'll see. I believe their next game is tomorrow. Or yes, I believe they play tomorrow. And if I'm not mistaken, it should be on ABC. Let's see. But yes, no, it's on Peacock. It's on NBC Peacock. So yes, they play tomorrow, and we'll see if the Lakers can end the series and go up 4-0 and end the series and sweep the Rockets. Now, let's speak on the Spurs a little bit. Wembanyama did not play last game, but Lord Jesus, did them boys come to play. Shout out Castle. Shout out shout out Dylan Harper. Them boys played. Let's look at this box score here. Oh my Lord. First, I'll say this. They were the first youngest duo since Kevin Durant and James Harden to both score 25 points or more in a game together on the same team. So let's see. Castle hit 33. Dylan Harper came off the bench and gave you 27 and 10. Lord Jesus. Now, my question is, does Dylan Harper stay with the Spurs long term? Because they got such good but that's another story. Let's talk about the game last night. I watched a little bit of this, and Portland was in it until the second half. They just put the foot on the gas and just said, you know what, we can't go down 2-1 to this team. We have to take this back. So they went up, and man, they did not let off the gas. I mean, Stephon Castle was sensational. I mean, he was doing everything. So with that being said, I still have the Spurs winning the series. I had it a sweep, but obviously I was wrong. They won in San Antonio without Victor, but they did win nonetheless. So with that being said, I'm still going with my prediction. Gentlemen sweep in 5. That's just my prediction, because again, I thought this was going to be a 4-0 sweep in this series. But shout out Tiago Splitter, which let's talk about the Portland Trailblazers for a second and their owner and everything. First and foremost, how do you not give playoff T-shirts to the fans that come in attendance for the very first home game in what I believe 5 years? I believe I could be wrong, but yes, I believe it's been 5 years since Portland's been in the playoffs. And you, first of all, you didn't give the shirts, you didn't the travel with the team and such, you didn't take two-way players and all this other stuff. So you're cutting costs. I'm pretty sure you're trying to sell the team. Maybe I don't know if their owner's trying to sell the team, but also I think you need to hire Tiago Splitter. I understand that it's his first year and he wasn't planning on being a head coach, but look what he has done with this team. They're a 7th seed in the West. 7th seed. And he's coaching them up. Scoot is playing different. He's playing there. Add him with Dame next year, it's going to be different for sure. Then Avia, he's already coming on. And I love the way that they managed Robert Williams so he could play in these playoff minutes. Now, again, do I think they're going to win the series? No, I do not. But I think Portland is a team that is ascending instead of descending for sure. So the owner, I don't know what's going on over there, but I do think that Portland, they are ascending instead of descending. So boom, that's just a little bit of talk, a little bit of NBA talk, man. Playoffs, they are continuing tonight. Again, tomorrow you have the Spurs. They play, what time do they play? They play the early games. They play at 2:30 on ESPN Central Time. So check that out, man. Again, I believe they win that tomorrow. Yes, sir. One last thing. I guess we'll bring this up, man. And again, I told you we'll cover a little bit of wrestling in here. I seen there's 22. What is this? 22 wrestlers got released from WWE today. However, I believe that they honestly a couple of them wasn't really doing much. Let's be clear here. There were some superstars. You have, Selena Vega. You've got Kairi Sane on there. You've got Aleister Black. You had the Motor City Machine Guns. You had all, including Uncle Howdy. You had all of Uncle Howdy and all, what is it, the Wyatt Six. All of them got released, including Nikki Cross. I did not see Nikki getting released. I won't lie to you. I did not see Nikki getting released. So with that being said, man, shout out to those people. I know they're landing on their feet, but I'll say this. I know a lot of people on X and stuff, or Twitter, however you want to call it, were upset at that reporter who reported the news of these releases before some of these wrestlers did it themselves, whether they wanted to stream it, whether they wanted to announce it on X, Facebook, Instagram, wherever the case may be. I will say this, that reporter did his job, and as he should report. And like he said, he did his due diligence, and he crossed his T's and dotted his I's and made sure they were all factual. And before he even reported that, these reports and things came out 3 hours prior. So it was 3 hours before he even reported it. So he did his job. I know a lot of people saying that was tacky of him, or he shouldn't have done that, and blah. No, he's doing what every reporter would do, and that's report the news that they get. They fact check, and then they put it out there. So shout out to that, man. But this concludes the latest episode of Down South Ball Talk, hosted by LT. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do me a favor, hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Please leave me a comment. It will help us grow. Please, thank you. I really appreciate that. And also, please follow all my socials. They are down here. You see them. They are all at Down South Ball Talk, except on X. It is Down South BT. Again, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful evening. God bless.